experience this. You don't deserve to go through this.
About a month or so ago, when I spoke to my dad, I asked him how he was doing, and he said, "Well, I'm doing pretty shitty." And throughout the 24 years that he's had cancer off and on, he has never actually admitted to feeling bad. So that was quite a shock, and that was that time that I made the video saying I was going to be away for a while. Because I thought
Makes
at that
sense.
time I might just fuck off to America and go see him anyway against his wishes and neglect everything that I knew about the man and just be selfish and try to make myself feel better. But I can't do that. Anyway, so there's the one thing. The other thing is, about a month and a half or so ago, I did this video. The real problem, though, I find, especially now that I'm older, living in a small town, is being single. Being single in a small town kind of sucks. Funny thing is, the day after I made that video, a beautiful woman walked into my shop and told me that she'd been thinking about me and that she really wished that we could get to know each other better. And we started seeing each other.
By the way, not nearly enough women do that for you.
We saw each other for 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. And she's amazing. She's a few years older than me. She's got 3 beautiful daughters, all teenagers. She's intelligent, she's interesting, she's funny, she's compassionate, she's affectionate, she's passionate, she's sexy, she's absolutely gorgeous. But I had to break up with her last week because I just wasn't feeling the way I would want to feel about someone who I was going to be in a long-term relationship with. In other words, I wasn't falling in love with her. And that's really hard to say to somebody, especially
Sure.
when you can see day by day that person falling in love with you. Now, I don't really know what's wrong. You know, if I was to examine her as a person, she pretty much ticks every single box in terms of what I look for in a woman. But what really gets me, and I mentioned this in my Chemistry 101 video, was that how some people, regardless of how they treat you, you can have an amazing chemistry and affection for almost immediately, sometimes even without even meeting them.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Other times, you can meet somebody who has all the qualities I just listed off and then some. And she's totally into me, and she really thinks I'm amazing and everything like that, but I just couldn't feel it back. And I wondered if it was a chemistry thing, or if it's more to do with the fact that I've still got feelings for the chick I had a crush on during the summer. Don't really know. It's also possible that I still am in love with the disaster I had last year.
Take this with a grain of salt because, you know, we don't know each other in real life, so I don't really know for sure. But if I had to completely guess, and this is, again, grain of salt, this is a wild guess, perhaps it's just a combination. It doesn't sound like, you know, the recent past has gone too well for you in certain areas. You know, I mean, the disaster, your father, all those things combined, I can easily see how someone in another situation, you know, maybe before all this happened, you would fall madly in love with, but at this point, maybe I can easily see, like, your mind just not wanting to, I don't know, open up at that point. I don't know, take that with a grain of salt. I'm just shot in the dark.
I don't really think that's it, though. I'm more inclined to think it's the fact that, despite the fact that my crush and I will never be together, and that's perfectly fine with me, the fact is, I think about her every day, and this new person never managed to eclipse that.
Yep.
So once I realized that, I had to end it, because I just couldn't be false. You can't let someone fall in love with you if you know you're not going to fall in love with them.
See, and that's what I love about your personality. Because you know at one point that you don't want to hurt this person's feelings, but at the other point you know that further along the line it's going to be worse for her if you stay with her and then she, completely falls for you and, starts talking about marriage or something, then you break up with her later after she's already completely and utterly committed. That would be worse. And I think that's really hard for us humans in general because we're always thinking about the short term. We're never thinking about the long term. I think that takes a lot of guts and maturity to come to that conclusion.
So yeah, that's why I've been a bit out of sorts lately. That's why I haven't gotten to do some of the more heavy videos that I've been wanting to do. Every time I want to get into a heavy topic, my spirit deflates and I just can't really get into it. But I really will. I started a series about respect. I totally intend to finish that. It's just going to take fucking ages until I'm in the right headspace for it. I also started a series about nuclear war and nuclear weapons, which I actually 50% made the first video for that. But then I found out about my dad and I just came apart. And
understandable, man.
I haven't managed to get back to it because every time I've tried to get back to it, it just reminds me of how I felt when I found out my dad was possibly on his last days. But he seems to have improved a lot. He's a feisty old fucker. Anyway, so I haven't neglected these sort of heavier topics. I still remember that I'm supposed to do them. I still intend to do them. But hopefully you'll understand why I really haven't been doing so.
Yeah, dude, take your time, man. I mean, this is YouTube. This isn't, you need to get your personal life has got to get in order before you can do this shit. I mean, I've had periods of 2 weeks where I just wasn't very active on YouTube at all because I just had to do other shit. Like, I just couldn't handle it. So, I totally know what you mean. Take a break, man. Just take a break if you need it. Everybody here will understand. Anyways, I also wanted to let you know, it was kind of a funny anecdotal thing. I didn't realize until I looked at the date, and apparently your movie was on, my birthday, and also the day my grandma died, which, great thing to have on your birthday, but whatever. This video isn't about me, this is about you. Anyways, man, I wish you the best of luck. I really hope things have improved, and if not, I really hope you're just getting through it, man. Because like they say, life will go on. Anyways, see you later.